I dreamed of making $100,000 wholesaling real estate. I did it. Purchased properties throughout the town of Smyrna, Pennsylvania, Milton, Delaware. We are local house buyers, local investors. Then I quit. Now I make millions of dollars a year for other real estate investors.
And that's what I like about you.
You do business the right way.
That is exactly what I was looking for.
Service that we love.
You were doing business with some folks that I follow, that I admire.
So grateful that you're a part of the journey.
And to get here, I had to let go what I was taught in order to find my life's true purpose. I just never felt like I belonged growing up. I always felt different. I always felt ostracized and attacked, picked on during recess in elementary school. I equated pain with not having enough money, and pain always fueled me to be successful. And I channeled that into, okay, well, not only do I want to prove I'm worthy, but I don't want to be broke. That's why I wanted to get rich. I got into real estate because of this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad taught me that I can use real estate, get rental income, and that's how you end up with financial freedom. And it was at a time in my life where I was really lost. I was searching for control, and this book provided it to me. It gave me a clear path to how I can get out of my pain and get control over my life. And ultimately, down this path, I joined the local real estate meetup and learned about this concept called wholesaling.
The video you're about to watch is gonna blow your mind. It's about wholesaling.
Katie became my mentor, and I worked with her for 2 years. Every single week, I spent those 2 years scouring the internet on Zillow, looking for people wanting to sell their home. I spent hours and hours every single week doing this for months and months and months, and there was nothing that came of it. My senior year of college, I found a new mentor. His name is Aaron. He was actively doing flips, serious real estate investor. He did wholesaling as well, and basically helped me get my real estate license. Became a realtor selling apartment leases. And if you've been in the business, you know that's like the bottom of the barrel work for a real estate agent. Made very little money doing it, but he saw the work ethic that I'd put in, doing all these like shitty jobs. And he said, Tim, you're doing the work that 99% are not willing to do. Like, you are the 1% and you will be successful. And him telling me that didn't make me money. Like, I was still broke, but it gave me the confidence to keep going. I graduated college in 2013 and moved to Delaware. My girlfriend was going to graduate school at the time, so I moved down there with her. And I decided I'm gonna start my wholesaling business in Delaware. Yeah, I didn't have any money, so I ended up having to get a job with my generic business degree at the local Honda call center, making $14 an hour. It was the worst job I've ever had. It was miserable. I was doing it 8 hours a day, barely enough to pay the rent, honestly. 4 months later, after sending out 400 pieces of yellow letters, I finally got my first contract, and it was gut-wrenching. I remember it like it was yesterday. The property was in Leadham Estates in Newcastle, Delaware. Such a good first deal. It was the same house as every other house in the neighborhood. That's exactly what you want as a newbie trying to comp his first property to get a deal. The homeowner's name was Jim, and he was so nice. You could probably tell that I was new, but he knew that I was willing to work hard, and he trusted me. The property just needed paint and carpet, a new kitchen, and a new bathroom, $20,000 to $25,000 worth of work. So the buyer went through the property, signed a contract. He would pay me $5,000. I could do anything I want. Maybe I could finally buy some nice clothes. Or maybe I would buy another 500 letters. Maybe I would spend it on 5,000 letters. I don't know. My mind was spinning with all the possibilities of how this $5,000 was now gonna completely change my life. And everyone was gonna say, Tim, I was wrong about you. And I was gonna say that about myself. And then 2 days later, I was at Target and I got a phone call. It was the buyer. He told me, hey Tim, man, sorry, I can't buy this property. What do you mean you can't buy this property? You signed a contract. Yeah, well, when I talked to my contractor, showed him all the photos and videos I took, he said it's gonna cost a lot more than $20,000 or $25,000 to fix up the property. Well, Tim, I have to back out of the property. I just felt so terrible. My heart just sank. But I had to tell the seller. I didn't even try to look for another buyer. I was just so upset, and I was like, I can't screw this guy along anymore. He needs to sell this property, and it's not gonna be me. Jim, I'm sorry. I got some bad news. It needs a bit more repairs than we thought. Fortunately, we can't buy your house. I'm so sorry. Okay, thanks for letting me know. My confidence was lower than it ever has been in my life. Not only was I making no money, I was literally making other people's lives worse. The next day, I went back to my job, answering the phone for 8 hours a day, telling people that they needed to pay their $45 car payment. And it doesn't matter if their kid is sick or if grandma's dying. Such a soul-sucking job. But I didn't know what else to do. To me, real estate didn't work, then I didn't work, that it wasn't the guru's fault or the training program, that it was my fault. So I went back to sending yellow letters out because that's what I did to get this contract, and maybe I can keep doing it. My girlfriend would help me fold the letters up, put them in the envelope, put the stamp on, write the addresses out, put them in the mail. So I just did that for the next 6 months, every single night. I bought a website called NewcastleHouseBuyers.com because that was the neighborhood which I got my first contract. So maybe I'm gonna be the Newcastle guy. Let's do it. It was a terrible website. My name is Tim Oppel, and I buy houses in Delaware fast. I also bought 500 door hangers. Put the website on these door hangers, and I started putting the door hangers around the neighborhood. I put out these We Buy Houses signs, the phone number underneath. They kind of look like crap, and you take them and you staple them up on the pole. After 6 months of doing this is all I got.
1-800 suck my dick, that's my phone. You solicitate to buy property? You have a $2 million? You try to steal something, boy?
And a lot of angry voicemails like this.
I am not looking to sell my house. Stop sending stuff to me and tell me why you picked our house to call.
I even had the mayor call me to take down my bandit signs because they were illegal and he was gonna fine me. Well, that was the last time I put up bandit signs. I got another credit card at 0% interest. I started a Google Ads campaign. I first put $2,000, and that's when I started going into debt. By the way, during this time, I got a new job at the digital marketing department at Gannett. I learned how to set up a Google Ads campaign. I learned all about social media marketing, and I applied it to my wholesaling business and started to get more leads in. I finally closed my first deal. I got the house under contract for $8,000. 3 months after closing my first deal, I got my second property under contract. Then I got a third deal. Then I got laid off from my job. I went to go pick my girlfriend up. She could tell I was very upset. My wholesaling business was barely more than breaking even, and now I'm making no money. She said, Tim, I believe in you. I believe that you can do anything you set your mind to. And in that moment, I felt really loved and supported. From that moment, I decided I'm gonna run my own business. I'm doing it. Hey everybody, this is Tim. We're just in Smyrna. We're looking at a property. So I wanna let you guys know that we are local house buyers here. I did more direct mail, I did more Google ads, and my internet marketing started to pay off. Hi, this is Tim here with Op Real Estate. Walking through the town of Milton. And in the next 3 months after I got laid off, I made $30,000 wholesaling. Walking through downtown Media, Pennsylvania. Just wanted to show you guys that we are local investors here. I got rid of all the other distractions. I didn't do any cold calling, stop the door knocking, any of that stuff. Barley Run, Seaford, Delaware. I spent so many hours on this property. I had a lockbox on it. They just never responded to my texts ever again. Denise Boulevard in Del Mar. Septic inspection failed, which would take 2 weeks, and she didn't want to do that. We're going to be expanding into 2 markets, Maryland and Chester County, PA. I'm very happy about it. I'm less stressed about it. I feel like I'm a little too relieved and that it shouldn't affect me as much as it does. The income has a little too much control over me. I get too down when I don't have income, and maybe I get too happy when I do. Look, I got to a point where I made $100,000 of revenue from wholesaling, but I was miserable. Had another deal potentially fall apart, we'll see. And the problems were adding up. Septic inspection failed, it stopped responding to my text messages, and we couldn't find their info. Contacted the seller behind my back, complete waste of time. That deal's gonna fall apart, killed the deal. Deal fell apart, that killed the deal, killed the deal. I started to regret ever getting into wholesaling in the first place. You see, you're dealing with people every single day that are at sometimes the lowest points of their life, where they have cancer, someone recently passed away, or addicted to drugs, or getting a divorce, or all these terrible things where they need to get rid of their property. And we're here to help them, and I get a sense of fulfillment from helping them, but it's emotionally really difficult to do. I cared about these people, and dealing with it day after day after day, it takes a toll. I remember one day after dropping my girlfriend off at work, instead of driving home, I drove towards the Delaware Memorial Bridge from Delaware to New Jersey. And I kept picturing in my head flinging myself off the bridge. On my way home, I was dead silent. What I was doing was unsustainable, and this business was not good for me. I was scared of what might happen if I continued doing what I was doing. So I quit. And I started to look inside of myself for why I even got into this business and what I really wanted. My girlfriend and I decided to take some time off, spent 6 weeks traveling across Europe. Peace, guys. Sparkling Eiffel Tower. Oh, man. And that trip helped me reset. Afterwards, I got a job full-time working at Carrot, actually, company I used to build my websites. I was helping them with marketing and projects and a bunch of different things. The year that I quit, my business income was negative $17,000. I ended up having a meeting with my old mentor, Aaron. I was telling him my woes and how I was struggling, and said something to me that changed the course of my business forever. He told me, Tim, you're not a real estate investor. You're an internet marketer who happens to be in real estate. And that was a profound shift for me, because the majority of the deals that I was doing, the deals I actually made money on and actually got a good return for my marketing, were all through my internet marketing efforts. Not my direct mail, nothing else. I didn't enjoy doing the sales. I didn't enjoy talking to people. I didn't enjoy going on appointments, but I liked the internet marketing. So in that moment, I saw my path forward. I was going to solely focus on what made me money and strip out all the rest. Google Ads. Look, Google Ads is my bread and butter, but it's not because I love Google Ads specifically. Google Ads is the medium for me to use my core gift. I'm able to deconstruct, analyze, and rebuild systems to make them better and ultimately just way more efficient. And based on my digital marketing background, I knew exactly what was needed to be built. I knew exactly the service other investors needed within their budget, and that's what I did. I took my system and rebuilt it in a way that it could work for any other investor in any other market across the country or even in other countries. It worked. Now we have over 50 investors that we're working with, different markets all across the country. And we even have some investors doing over $1 million in revenue each year just from my Google Ads system. And that's way more money than I ever made in my own real estate business. I started this YouTube channel to use my gifts to analyze different business strategies in order to really figure out what the truth is. What does it really take to succeed? I spend way more time on each video than most of the other influencers put into a whole year's worth of content. I really try my best to make the best possible video, and I hope this video gives you an idea of who I am, of what I'm like, and what you'd be expecting if you ended up working with me. Now we turn down more investors than we take on. So if you want to see if you'll qualify working for us, or if you want to learn how to do everything I do in my free course, you can check out 7-year-old Tim Wanted a Different Life. Little guy, you didn't know what you wanted. You know, you probably wouldn't have guessed yet you would end up here, but here we are. And I hope you'd be proud of me. I'm proud of me. And I'm proud of you and all that you went through too. And I wouldn't have changed a single thing. I wouldn't have made any different decisions because I wouldn't be who I am today. We're here doing what we want to do with the people we want to do it with. And there's really nothing else you can ask for in life.